Enhanced Unemployment and UBI. The United States is in a lather concerning federally funded enhanced unemployment. The quandary focuses on how to get those people back to work and is predicated on the question, hey, if they're going to keep getting an extra $600 a week in federal unemployment insurance on top of their regular unemployment, then how are we ever going to get them to go back to work? I find the premise of getting folks to risk their lives in the name of an economy that mostly sneers at them fascinating, especially for low-paid folks. For the record, at the end of a 40-hour work week, I do not gross $600, which technically makes me one of the low-paid workers mentioned above. But I have the equivalent of a universal basic income, or UBI. My UBI is spelled WIFE. Without my wife's income, there is no way I could survive as a part-time employee in a bicycle shop where seasonality plays a dramatic role in how much I work. Fortunately for me, my income is not needed for us to live comfortably. I choose to rather than have to work. Even with Raleigh, North Carolina's fairly mild winters, cycling experiences a precipitous drop when daylight hours and temperatures go south, and this parallels my 1 day per week, 8-hour paychecks during our darkest, coldest months of January and February. Spring ups my weekly work hours to 24, a commitment more in keeping with the desires and expectations of my 59 years old pre-retirement life-work balance. I have come to expect another bump as spring segs into early summer, but this year COVID had other plans. North Carolina had a fairly stringent lockdown of non-essential services, but as bicycles are a means of transportation, bike shops were exempt from closure. Still, even though reaction to early COVID restrictions was a gamut of absolute disbelief concerning a need for any restrictions to confidence that we could prevent the NYC COVID hotspot from engulfing the entire USA if we acted prudently, Bike Shop's designation as essential meant the shop where I work took precautions and remained open. At 59 years of age, I am considered above average risk for COVID consequences, but not high risk. I understand these risks, but continue to work retail where I come into contact with many people every workday. Employees wear masks, as do our customers, but the risk is real. My shop employs one coworker who is older than I, and like me, the income from his part-time job at a bicycle shop is not needed. But unlike me, he deemed exposure to the public too great a personal health risk and opted out of work for the duration. The argument that a UBI or enhanced unemployment insurance dissuades people from working at low-paying jobs is false. It is being unappreciated and treated as disposable that dissuades folks from returning to these working conditions. Employees' perception that they are stuck accepting jobs that benefit owners while they perform demeaning and dangerous frontline work that only provides them with the means to continue to live miserably is understandably low incentive to return working for uncaring corporate masters. When we preach that money and income is the golden idol before which the world bows and to which all must pay homage, is it any wonder that low-paid workers feel disenfranchised, especially as they are treated as both disposable and easily replaced? Work, for many, is an abusive relationship, and the top-down, uncaring disregard for and dehumanization of employees is a dysfunctional cycle of misery no sane human would wish to continue. Because of my UBI, I have the option of bowing out, and my employer knows this. I deliver service because I believe in the worth of what I provide, and I know that cycling is literally a tool to make the world and its citizens healthier. I work in support of my younger coworkers who do not have the luxury of opting out. I work because as a child I was taught to see value in labor, but to tell people they should go back to work under miserable, low-paying, dangerous circumstances simply to benefit their capitalist owners is the best argument in providing a UBI. Providing enhanced unemployment for those in need is both humane and economically reasonable, as would be providing a UBI with a proper multi-tiered income tax system to pay for it. What's not reasonable is folks in my safe economic situation demanding payroll tax holidays because it's not fair that the freeloaders get money and we don't. Ditto on economic stimulus checks sent out to those of us who aren't hurting. Grow up. Uncle Sam's not spelled Uncle S-U-G-A-R, and even Marx understood the difference between each according to his needs as opposed to each according to our petty wants. A system that values profit over all else and allows the strong to prey on the weak is broken and must be fixed. Both enhanced unemployment benefits and a UBI safety net are marvelous tools in bringing forth a world where everyone is treated with human decency and respect. Let's keep folks safe and create job conditions where we feel that work is a blessing rather than a life sentence. By the way, May and June, I continued to work 24 hours per week, but when July hit, I hit 4 weeks in a row where I worked 40 or more hours per week. My part-time 40-hour work week schedule also holds true at least through the first 2 weeks of August.